Welcome to Workshop 4, The Best You. My name is Ruth Carter and I'm the Liberty Coach. I am a graduate of Turning Pro and I'm here to talk to you about your wellness, your life. Just to give you a little bit about me, I'm a therapeutic coach and I work with young people. But as part of my journey, it hasn't always been easy. Have you ever had a time when you connected yourself to an object or a thing before? Yeah? Well, let me introduce you to what I used to connect myself to. Yeah, I can laugh now, but that is the truth. I used to say to myself that I was a beast of burden and that I was carrying a lot of load. The reality is, my life has shaped the way that I am, the good and the not so good. When I was 13 years old, I was abused, and through that, I kept silent for 21 years. I didn't say anything to anyone. Even before doing this, I had to send my videos that some of you may have seen to my mum and dad before coming out and saying what I'm doing, because I thought I'm going to let my life be my work and my work be my life. So therefore, I will then get to enjoy what I do. I work with children, young people and parents, and I have been all three of those. I have been a child, I have been a young person, I am now a parent. And through that, it's been lots of learning. Through my life, I suffered with depression. I had depressed networks and misery loves company. And I began to realise that as I was going through my journey, not saying a word, the damage that it done to my self-esteem, my confidence and aspirations. It's lovely to see my friends here today, because for me, you guys know me well. And some of you in the audience, my Turning Pro candidates at the back, and my colleagues and my family, you know who I am to a certain extent. But the reality is, the hardship that I faced, the choices that I made me feel that I was going nowhere and I was stuck. It was in 2012 when I came here to the Anthony Robbins show, and it was Unleash the Power Within. One of the tasks was to do a fire walk. Now, I've had a broken down marriage, I'm divorced, and at the time, I was going to do Tony Robbins. And when I was on the phone with the person, they gave such good energy, like got me going and everything. And when she mentioned the fire walk, I said, hell no, I'm not doing that. But then as I came here today, it was where my journey began 4 years ago. And now I'm here up on this stage. So for all the learnings, we're always learning different things about ourselves. The reason why I work with children and young people primarily is because I've realised through researching over the last 3 years that low self-esteem is still a factor that contributes to low academic attainment. I have realised that low confidence won't even allow a child with the answer to put their hand up in school. For me, I felt that needs to change. Like, as a child, that should be the time when you should be able to be free to live. Because I go to the children, I say to them, have you paid any bills? Do you have a mortgage? What do you think they say to me? No. But yet, they are depressed. One of the key factors for me through keeping silent was my behaviour. My behaviour resulted in me feeling like this. Has anyone seen Inside Out? Great movie. I love this movie. And this little guy here is where I used to live, like in anger all the time. But my anger caused a serious issue within my family networks. And this is why I have been drawn to work with parents. My child experienced child sex exploitation, which is becoming pretty common. So much so that this week the government announced that they are making it mandatory for sex relationship education within schools. From the information that I have gathered over the years, young people are engaging in risky behaviours. And from what they have told me, they would rather this information come to them from the school than their parents. Question that I say, do you talk to your parents about things that matter to you? Some say yes and some say no. It's the ones that say no that I'm concerned about, because my child said she didn't come to me because of my anger. We're all generating energy through us. We may seem like we're happy, but the energy within is issuing out to everybody. So as much as I was going along with my life, working, doing what I had, the silence was oozing out anger. So I done a mantra and I said, I'm lovely, I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous and confident. Like I needed to change the outlook of the donkey to something else. Because when I held that image in my head, I believed it. It became a reality. I was stuck. I couldn't go anywhere and I wasn't progressing. And with that in mind, it caused me a lot of stress. So to change my thinking, I decided to give this to my daughter and my son. I changed the wording. It was this poem, this mantra, that my daughter disclosed to me about her child sex exploitation. Because inwardly, I was going through a turmoil. I wanted things to change. I just didn't know how. And so I grew up in church. And the only thing I knew was the Bible. And so I got strength from the Word of God. And with that, I found the scriptures that would meet the affirmations that I was saying to myself, because it was what I knew. I needed help. I needed a way to become the person that is standing here in front of you today. And I had to discover inside that there was more. So I started writing about my experiences and what I was feeling, and I'm going to share that with you today. And Ben is just going to play and I'm going to go along. Help me, a distant voice I heard. Help me, I looked around and heard vibrations from beneath my feet, could hear the distant cries. I got a shovel and done a hand so weak. I pulled them up. To my surprise, the child inside was me. I discovered that the only way to find my liberty was in me. So, to my audience, don't worry now, and to you on camera, set on your way. You have your liberty to be free and to be who you are born to be. And I started journaling as part of my experience, getting it out there, because it was something that I kept to myself. And as much as I may not have said a word to my family or to my friends, I wrote down my experiences. So I realized that being you was the best thing that I could do. And so this control panel, these emotions, is what I started to organize within myself. I wasn't happy. I didn't have joy inside. But sadness and anger was my best friend. Fear. I would say no to everything. You ask me to sing, I'll say no. You ask me to say anything, I'll say no. You ask me to go out, I said no. There were times with friends, they had birthdays, I didn't go out for a long time. I just disconnected because I just didn't want to be around people. And it's funny being here today around so many people. This is just part of the transformation. There can be no keener revelation to a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. So with this in mind, I was one of those children that was a victim of abuse, like many others out there. And they are who I primarily work with because they have so much potential. And you don't realize it at first, but it's there. The statistics are 1 in 10 children and young people aged 5 to 16 suffer from diagnosable mental health disorders. 1 in every 12 and 1 in every 15 children and young people deliberately self-harm. Over 8,000 children aged under 10 years old suffer with severe depression. And the expectation is that they're going to go through school and that they're going to achieve. Those odds are very challenging for a young person to navigate when they're living this daily and constantly. Futures in Mind government paper is now focusing its attention, as you can see the date 2015. We are now in the 21st century and we are looking at promoting, protecting, improving our children and young people's mental health and well-being. And that is the sector that I work in. The key themes are promoting resilience, prevention and early intervention. For people that are going through challenges, you don't seem to realise how resilient you are, to find the strength to keep going on and pressing on and being here. When I say being here, because children and young people are exiting the planet because they don't know how. They don't have the strategies to cope with the stress that is on them. The mobile phones are great. They are a good asset. But for some, it is the worst thing ever. When it comes to bullying, when it comes to sexting, when it comes to pornography, And when you're dealing with a young mind, the way they shape the world from those experiences can cause issues in unhealthy relationships. So seeing certain activities at a young age, thinking it's desirable, can cause you to actually mistreat others. It can cause you to be that bully going around holding all that anger. Improving access to effective support systems. Children are waiting over 18 weeks for a CAM assessment for their mental health and longer. With this model, there are practitioners on site in school under the mental health strategy, so that if a concern is raised with the SENCO or the early wellbeing teams managers, it is dealt with straight away. So all the young people and children that I work with, when issues comes, it's not just about doing a safeguarding form. It is about ensuring this young person gets the services that they need. Because these children that haven't had the opportunity to access help and support have grown up through their life and have mental health disorders and are in mental health institutions, all because they didn't have other options. There are no unresourceful people, just unresourceful states. The care for the most vulnerable. So, can you see why I do what I do? Because, like I said, my life is my work is my life. I kept silent, thinking that I was the only person this had happened to. I didn't, and who wants to talk about rape? No one really wants to talk about it. But the reality is, children are now becoming abusers of their own self, abusing their peers, because everybody wants to have a bit of something. And they do not go around it the right way. This is why now you're seeing the campaigns of consent all over the place. Have you seen the advert? The ones with the bras and everything, asking for consent. We are having to teach people yes and no. And the young people are telling me they want this information coming from the school and not their parents. See, I made the mistake once talking about the issue too late, because the issue came to me first. And then I had to go to the police and do all that stuff. Stress. This time round, second time round, I decided, let me talk about it first. And because I share with young people what I do, techniques and strategies that I use, they said to me, nah, I wouldn't want to talk to my parent about this. And so I said to my son about it, because he's rolling his eyes. We've got another CSC assembly, another one. And I had to highlight to him that some people are acting in a way that they don't know is wrong. And so being aware and consciously aware of your own behaviour is important, not just for you, but for others around you. The accountability and transparency is, as the practitioners, we be accountable for our practice and the transparency between the children of the process of what's going to happen. Because the reality is, some children are removed from their homes because the abuse is coming from there. And developing the workforce is about delivering training to staff, educators, trainers on how best to meet young, vulnerable children's needs. Working through the emotional core, looking at the behaviours that they're displaying. And then the important part is the heart-centered approach, where they get to discover their love for themselves. It seems in life we are programmed for others first before we start looking at ourselves. We give more attention to everyone else first primarily. The programs that I work with is about putting the focus back on the child, allowing them to feel the love for themselves. Because when we do scaling and measuring and they are on the side of self-hate, I feel it's my responsibility, because I enjoy what I do, to go through a process with them to get them from out of self-hate and identifying the things that they actually love about them. So we go to the upgrade. We look at resources. And so one of the techniques I'm going to do right now is the dance of excellence. But we've got the dance of excellence with our live guitarist. And what I would like you to do is I'd like you all to stand up, because we're going to get some resources going on in here. You have to keep your headphones on to hear the music. Now, let me go over here. Right, so whether you're right-handed or left-handed, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is you need to use your hand to make a circle just in front of him. Because some of you got chairs, just make it so we're going to jump in, but you have to dance. Because I work with children, we have to make it fun and enjoyment, and moving your physiology changes your mood. Go. You can't hardly hear anything in here. So, get your hand and create your circle that only you can see. Now, at this time, I want you to focus on events. Yeah, that's it, Cindy. That's it. Get your groove going on. You've got to think in this circle. You're going to put all your resources. Now, you can stop moving your hand because you've created your circle. What I want you to do is focus in on your circle and put your resources in there. The ones that you have felt at your best. The ones where you felt that you have succeeded. The ones where everything came together and you felt really good. And because there are no children in here, your best orgasm can go in there too. Yes? Now, while it's in there, I want you to intensify that feeling. And when I count to 3, we're going to jump in. Okay? That's it. See, I've got my lady here grooving. 1, 2, 3, jump! Now feel the energies of your resources that are deep inside you, rushing through your body, because you created them. I love you. Here, come here. This one's got it. I'm just calibrating you. She's in there. Now intensify and feel it all over. Now what I do when I'm working with children and teachers, you are carrying this around you. It is already in you. So when the NLP put NLP presupposition said all the resources are in you, it's true. You can take your circle up. You can fold it up. You can put it in your pocket. Here. And tap it in. Brilliant. And so, as you take a deep breath in, knowing who you are, knowing that you have resources that you can use, work on it, focus on it. Thank you, and take a seat. Nikola Tesla, if you wish to understand the universe, think of the energy, frequency and vibration. This is a way that I work primarily with young people. We look at auras. We look at what they can see and the feedback they're getting. When you're dealing with things like bullying, there's a vibration going on. Like, have you ever had a time where you just didn't have good rapport with someone? You just didn't connect with them. like I'd say my spirit doesn't take to them, yeah? And when you meet people like that, you tend to move away from them. And people that you are more familiar with or have the same energy or giving off a great vibe, you move towards them. Also, if someone has too much of a high frequency, like they're always bubbly, always happy, and you're always miserable, do you think the two will come together? No, because they don't have rapport. So we look into the energies and the frequencies that we're giving out. Now, some of the examples that some young people have given to me when we were dealing with bullying is that they would say that there was a darkness. The colours they would see coming through was dark. And the others, they would pick lighter colours, like yellows, a pink, a violet. These are the colours that they would say they would see coming from people. Nikola Tesla was a remarkable man. He has created inventions that are still going today. The motor, the radio, all these things. And he was an astounding man because he understood how the universe works. Now, I have had experience where I have said, I'm going to tap in to the universe. And so I will make my affirmations out and I would draw from the energy source inwardly so that I could go and achieve my goal, so that I could raise my frequency higher to a level of a belief that was higher from the frame that I was here. And I would do that with the children so that they can have an experience of raising their aspirations of who they want to be in the future, because the future is now. So now we're going to go into meditation, because this is being proven to be very effective. There are schools in America who are implementing meditation in school. And instead of giving the children detentions, they are giving them meditation in order to reduce low attendance and to build high aspirations and academic achievement and attainment. So Ben is going to open us up into what we would bring into our sessions of meditation, and then I'm going to take it into a lovely trance, and then we'll be coming to the end of my talk. I'm going to have to stand next to you because I can't hear. In your life, something that you really want, and I want you to make the picture big and notice whether it's in colour or black and white. And as you visualize, I want you to focus on the things that are good, and whether this is a goal that you want. Sense inside whether you're moving towards or away from it. Because you are part of the universe. You are important. And there are things here on this planet that are just destined for you. Whatever it is you're seeking is seeking you. And as you open up yourself to your own greatness, recognize who you are and whose you are. because we are all one in this planet. I want you to notice the love and the energy that is flowing through you. And I want you to intensify it and intensify that feeling as it drives you through to what you really want. And as you lift yourself and elevate your thinking of what you want to be and who you should be, I want you to recognize your potential, because you are important and you deserve good things to happen to you. Because as the Liberty Coach, and to those that have been abused and hurt, my message to you is I want you to live in a life that's free, so you can think of who you want to be. I want to live in a life that's free for you to find your opportunities. I want to live a life that's filled with peace and harmony. I want to live a life that's free for you to find your liberty. So as you're in your relaxing mood, I just want you to consider all your options and recognize that there is always more. And as big as this universe is, there is more. And the most important is the love that you hold for yourself. Talk kind to yourself. Say good things to yourself. Allow yourself to be empowered with your own breath that you breathe each and every day. And as we come and we are coming back into the room, take one last deep breath and stretch. And encapsulate your greatness. Partnerships that I have created in the work that I do. I work primarily in schools. I have private clients. People come to me for mass bullying, night terrors. These are children who are struggling in everyday life. So if you are experiencing trauma, experiencing things that you feel that you want to break free from, then I would like to offer you some coaching. I've only got a few minutes. Now, as I said, I'm a Turning Pro candidate. I have never before run my business online, ever. Last year, sold £108,000 worth of programs. This year, sold £90,000 worth of programs in 2 months. I updated the strategy. There is a sequence of events on how you can do that. I am that person who is coming from Little Luton, who lives in a town, and much greatness has come out of me. So the 21 years I kept silent, I realised I had a potential. And I just want to share those strategies with you. So I have leaflets. Take a picture of the information. To the first 5 people who go on the website and say, I want liberty, you'll get a free coaching. And that's me, that's my time. Thank you, and be well.